Hello everybody, HCC788 here. Yes, that HCC788. And I am back for another episode of my Minecraft project, and this time I'm going to show you my third house. This is the house in which I am currently living. In previous videos I showed you my first house, which is off in that direction, my second house, which is that building right there. I also showed you my self-sustaining building. But now it's time to show you where I currently live in this thing that I decided to make look like a castle. I thought that would be charmingly retro because I think a lot of our everybody's first Minecraft build is probably some kind of castle, usually built out of cobblestone when you're first learning to play the game. So I thought maybe something along those lines would be appropriate, but make it a little fancier. Also, make it functional. I wanted to have an automated sorting system in there, and so I created one. I wanted to have my bed in there, so this is where I sleep at night, and that's where my respawn point is set. I wanted to have everything I needed to craft. I wanted a mine, a new mine. I have two other mines in that direction, but a third mine to get even more resources. So yeah, that's what I wanted it to be, and I wanted it to be big. I wanted it to be spacious, and honestly, I'm really unsatisfied with it. It was, I think, a nice idea when I started, but it became a real pain to actually construct and put together and complete. In fact, strictly speaking, it's not really complete. I just kind of declared it done and stopped because I got so sick of building it. It's really a pain to build in survival mode, and I just got sick of doing it, to be honest. So I decided at some point that I just had to be done. So the inside is awfully unfinished. The outside is a bit more finished, but it's it's asymmetrical for one thing, because I didn't properly measure each side. So you have different dimensions for each wing of the house. So that's a bit of a problem. I can live with that though. However, the biggest problem with it is it's just too big. My philosophy of Minecraft houses has changed because of this building right here. It is just too much space. It's too much space to walk around to get to things that I need. It's too much space to fill. It's not the ideal house, and so my philosophy has changed. I think a smaller house is more practical, a house where things are more handy without having to go upstairs and downstairs and across the floor to get to things. In addition to that, because of the layout of the house, it's actually too small in some areas. So this space turned out to be simultaneously too large and too small. And I'll show you what I mean. First of all, we'll go down this path to the front door. I've got some banners here. I've collected, let's see, this one I collected from a desert village. I collected a couple from an end city. And I've got a lot from pillager raids. I have actually more pillager banners than I have totems of undying. Interestingly, because when I first started fighting against pillager raids, I didn't realize that the totem of undying was a thing that you could get, and so I didn't collect it because I didn't know. I didn't know that was a drop. So yeah, I ended up foregoing the totems of undying because I just didn't know they were there. I didn't know that they were dropped, and I didn't know to collect them. But after I figured that out, I got a few of them. But yes, that's why you'll notice more banners than totems, which I have inside. So the idea of this was supposed to be so well lit up that no mobs would spawn in the vicinity, so there would be no reason to create any gate or wall around this building. It was going to be in an open field, but I never finished the lighting, so it's not lit up as well as it really needs to be. But anyway, this is the front door, and this is the first floor. The first floor is the blue floor. Over in this room, I've got just some basic things, some things that I can use without having to go upstairs to use them, some furnaces and stuff. Over here was the starting point of my automatic sorting system. I'll show you that. The sorting system is in the basement. But first, let's go upstairs. Second floor is the red floor, and frankly, there's nothing up here. There's this chandelier, which I made out of end rods, which, again, I'm not thrilled with, but it provides some light. Additional light is provided by glowstone, which is ugly, and I always intended to replace it with another lighting source, but I never did, because, again, I got sick of building this thing. So yeah, second floor basically has nothing. My plan for the second floor was to do like maybe trophy rooms, get some paintings and put up an art gallery, things like that. Just decorative things, things to just make the place look nicer. But I never got around to it. Maybe I will, but I suspect I will move out of this house before I ever get around to putting anything in the second floor. The third floor is where most of the stuff is, and as you can see, even though there's stuff in on the third floor, it's still mostly empty. And this is a problem with this layout, is that for practical reasons, there's just too much space. I could divide it into rooms, but what does that really do but just create barriers between me and other stuff that I need? So, as with the self-sustaining building, I decided to create a workstation with all of the workbenches that I have or that I would need, and just keep them all in one place so that I can get to them readily with some lamps to light the way. I've got an enchanting area over here. That's where I do all of my enchanting now. I've got some potions there. I have my bed over here, along with some netherite armor that I need to repair at some point. So yes, I have a purple bed. I actually dyed the beds this time, rather than just leave them plain white. I've got a gallery here. I've got the dragon head, or I got another dragon head. I did collect 2 of them in the end. Yeah, my totems of undying are here. A couple elytra, and just odds and ends, things that I wanted to keep track of. It started out just being a gallery of things that were more rare and collectible, but then like I had a diamond shovel and I didn't know where to put it. I just wanted to keep track of it. I collected the diamond shovel from some crate somewhere. Yes, so yeah, that was eventually going to be like a wall of special stuff. This, like, I want to have some kind of museum or gallery that is for specifically this kind of thing, rather than just have it on a wall. I've got some shulker boxes. The shulker boxes are going to be for projects. I'm going to fill with some materials for projects that I do in the future, so that I don't have to keep going back and forth to get more cobblestone or more wood, as I often have to do. I've got the beginnings of a brewing station here, but not very much there. And then finally, if I go up here, I've got the upstairs area, and honestly, there's not a lot here. I wanted to do more with this space. This is a big open area. It is outdoors, so it is exposed to the elements. This kind of covering here is made of stairs, so I can walk up and kind of look across my town and look at the things that I've built. So that is most of the house. Like I said, simultaneously too much space and not enough. For instance, the way this staircase is built, it comes, I think, too close to this wall. But if I move it further out, then it'll cover this space, which obviously doesn't work. I can move it over there, but then if I come up the stairs, I would have to go over there in order to go upstairs. As it is now, I can just go straight up. So it's inconvenient. It's really poorly placed because it's poorly planned. So my next project, I am going to plan out much more thoroughly than this. I'm going to have it be more practical. But even though it will not be as big, it will, I think, be a more pleasant place to live because I'm going to plan the aesthetics of it better than I did this one as well. So it'll look better, it'll be more functional, but this is just a big disappointment. It took a lot of time and a lot of materials to build, and I ended up being very unhappy with it. So let's look at the automatic sorting system, which is another thing that I'm not very happy with. So this, you just drop things in there and you flip this switch on, which would activate a dispenser, which would take things from this chest and send them down to the sorting system. So the sorting system is in the basement. There are 2 levels. I used quartz blocks to decorate this. I spent a lot of time collecting quartz to build these blocks. So here we are. This is level 1, and if you've built sorting systems, if you've used redstone before, I'm sure you instantly know what this system is. What I've used is water to convey the items to the appropriate chests, and of course the chests are set up to collect those items, but the thing just doesn't work. It's very finicky. I find certain hoppers work correctly for a while, but then they start dropping the wrong items through, and I have to go back and fix them. And the thing became more of a pain than it was worth. So I've got different glass. They're sort of sorted by item type. I've got saplings here. I've got the different types of wood. I've got some ore and some materials for crafting. I did end up putting a crafting table and some furnaces down here, just because I got sick of going upstairs to craft and smelt things. I've got some food over here. And then down here, well, I've got 2 ways down. I've got that staircase, but I've also got this staircase over here to get to the lowest level. And this is, to me, just ugly. It's unpleasant. I don't like it. The way the sorting system works, it actually takes quite a bit of space. So this center area is set up really just to support this row of chests, this row of hoppers, which is not enough. So yeah, there are things here. It does sometimes work to sort things, but honestly, it often doesn't work, and that is frustrating. It breaks often enough that I've kind of stopped using it. So as far as sorting systems go, if I do another automatic sorting system, I will not use the same system that this uses. I've got to find another way to do it. I've got to find a more efficient way to do it. Also, one thing that you may notice is that not every collectible item is represented here. I made chests for the most common items, the things that I'm most likely to collect in large quantities, but it's not nearly enough, and I would have to make this much larger in order to accommodate all of the items that I would collect. And that's not to mention some items that are crafted For instance, if I made staircases, I've got a chest for cobblestone here. I think I've still got some in there. I've got a chest for cobblestone here. So, but what if I made cobblestone stairs? If I sent it through the automatic sorting system, it would not go in my cobblestone chest. I would have to have a separate hopper and chest for that, which I just don't have space for. So it was a nice idea. It was an experiment that it was worth conducting because I learned more about redstone and hoppers and how this works. So it wasn't a total loss. However, the functionality is not at all what it should be. So that is the automatic sorting system. The thing was so finicky, that I created a backstage, kind of a backdoor area here, where I would be able to walk around and look at all of the plumbing, and when something got stuck, I could figure out where it was getting stuck and fix it. So yeah, there's this really kind of cruddy looking backstage plumbing area. This area where it was basically created just so I could fix this thing during one of the many periods where it broke down and didn't function properly. But also what's back here, this is a tunnel to my second house because I still have chests there with some items sorted there. So I wanted a quick way to get back and forth to those chests. And then down here is my third and most recent mine. So let's go down here to the bottom of the mine, and this one is not as extensive as the others. I've really just got it started. These are branches that I will be digging out in the future. I've done a few, but there's a lot more to do. I haven't collected a lot of resources. I did make an automatic smelting system here just for ease of access so that I could smelt some of the ore that I collected without having to take it upstairs to do that. So yes, this is the start of my third mine, and it's just getting started. So not much to see there, but there will be more to come of it in the future. So this is the third house. It's not ideal. It's actually kind of a pain. And it's especially tragic because it took so much time and so many resources to build the thing. And honestly, when I was about 3/4 of the way done, I realized that this was not going to be practical. It probably would have been better if I had realized that sooner, but I didn't. I had put a lot of time and effort into building this place, and I wanted to finish it. I wanted to have a grand palatial estate, but it's just not good. I don't like it. It's another. I hesitate to say it's a failed experiment because I did learn a lot. I learned a lot building this. I gained some experience that I will take with me to future builds to make them look better, to make them more functional. But as a practical matter, this is not convenient to live in at all. However, I'm not going to tear this down, and I'm not going to tear down my other two houses either because I want these to exist as kind of a timestamp for the era in which they were created. These are just a part of the history of my town. It represents my skill level at the time they were built. Each one, I think, is an improvement on the other. And the next one will be an improvement on this. So if I ever get nostalgic and I want to remember what life was like when I was living in these other houses, well, then I can go back and revisit these. So they will stand as kind of monuments to the era in which they were built. So that is the third house. The next thing that we will do in the next video is we will go and look at the nether. I will show you my nether base, and there's much less to see there. It's not very big. But I'll show you where I went mining for ancient debris to create the netherite that I've been using. Yes, there's a little bit more to show, but we're closing in on the end of this era. We have looked at most of what is in this town. We have a couple more things to look at. We'll finish that maybe by next week. But after that, it's no more looking around. It's time to actually build things and explore and go on adventures and gather resources and actually play Minecraft. So we will get there. We'll do that. But I just wanted you to have an idea of what we're starting with, so that when we move on and we create better things, you know, there's a contrast to our humble beginnings and what it will eventually be. But anyway, that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time.